Dang, I just woke up. That's my. I just wake up. Then I just, bro. Okay, never mind. I just woke up. I just brushed my teeth, but actually, I forgot to wash my face. I swore that I did in my head until I got on the camera. I was like, it do not look like I washed my face. But then I just remembered I went to put my toothbrush back, and then I don't know what happened. But I'll be right back. Bro. Okay. Thank you. Hey, I was low key hoping nobody was in here. This is about to be a one way conversation with myself. This is a first. 'Cause I gotta get my mind right. Okay, cause I not always do this, but now I thought I washed my face and went to put my toothbrush up and didn't. Mm, okay, what percent is my phone on? Bro, I'm still okay. I just woke up because I did just open my eyes like not even 30 minutes ago. But so dang, don't forget. Okay, so this being on YouTube thing, cause YouTube went under a change and like since under 2024 it didn't used to be a lot of celebrities. YouTube was a place for people to be themselves, you know. It was just a place for people to build themselves and build their own community. I guess because I'm not everybody, I guess some people were doing that so that they could get into celebrity world. I was not doing that. I am antisocial, not antisocial. I am selectively social. I am selectively social. I only move with a purpose. I'm not just about to be like, if it's business stuff, gotta handle business. Yeah, that's different. I'm talking about professional business, like gotta go, do groceries, gotta go handle actual things and stuff, right? Bills. Hi, Sabri Khan. Um, this is a self-help, self-counseling video because yeah, this video is explaining it. But so yeah, so a little bit of growth from what I've been receiving, things that I've been receiving, um, and learning and thinking about and processing that so that I could play it back and grow. So yeah, like people have conversations. These some of these are my conversations to myself because I only live with myself. That'd be so hard. It's not a quick or easy thing to explain. That's not a quick or easy thing to explain. I wonder if that's why I have so much memory problems because like everything I say like needs like a 3 day backstory to it. That's not gonna happen. And so, but right now this video is to grow myself. Um, I'm probably gonna get off point. I'm recovering from memory loss. I've recovered a lot, actually. I've recovered a lot. Um, man, so I'm just get jump into it. I don't know exactly where it's gonna go. I mean, I know, like, I'm gonna stay in a general area, but I keep unintentionally forgetting my point. But it shouldn't be hard because it's main point is about like likes and stuff and being on social media. Hi, welcome in. So I before YouTube changed and the Hollywood started closing down and a lot of celebrities didn't have work, and then they came and infiltrated our area, right? Where then, yeah, of course, some people are going to want the attention of Hollywood and stuff like that. What will I do if you sub? Okay, yeah, so that's what I'm getting into now. I'm not like most YouTubers. If you sub, thank you for your support. I but this is like I said, this is a self help counseling video. Um, so I've also been being gang stalked and cyberbullied on YouTube, which was a part of a lot of was bringing to my attention. So why I'm on YouTube? Because that culture can be like, what are you gonna do if I just like that? To me is a little weird. Um, I am selectively social. I don't like to go outside like that, but I do like to socialize. If we're like this, no matter how your feelings and emotions are, right, you would have to put a lot of money and effort to try to come assault me instead of being in the same room with someone that might pretend to care about me or have my and can hurt me at any given time. I don't like to be you will not catch me in a party probably for the next 10 years until I learn and grow with people and we're salt. You're not about to catch me places with anybody and I don't know anybody. And that's the problem. And this is how my mindset and personality is. I only move deep with the people that I know the longest and we loyal and move together. But I don't have that because I'm being gang stalked. Hillary Clinton attempted to kidnap me in the first grade. I'm going to keep saying it because it's true and I'm not scared. And that's the people react to me because they expect me to react like normal people. Things normal people can take, can't take, I can. And so people misdiagnose me a lot because they look for, oh, if this happened, then this should happen. It's different outcomes. Like things that I hear people say. Okay, first, man. So I'll probably be making this video and then going back and then going more into detail. Yes, from Nan Sanders Elementary School in Paris, California, there was a Christmas parade in the early 2000s. But that's not the main point of this video because she's a very small part of my trafficking. And not just me, but my whole family. My family owns land. My mom and her two sisters inherited the land. The government will not let anyone live on our land. They had one of their government social workers, adult social workers, and a drug dealer living on our land. The drug dealer is no longer there. I don't know if the social county social workers, and they're living on our land for free, just completely bitching my mom. My mom is like what, 5 foot, short. She's not nobody to be played with, but she's short. When I was little, they used to just. My mom was very strong willed. They just started drugging her and taking. And I witnessed all of this happen to my mom. I witnessed everybody fold on my mom, from her siblings to her friends. Watched everybody stab my mom in her back. And that's also why I don't move in big circles. I'm a very loyal person. Um, I watched everything that was done to my mom, and she's now back friends with those same people again. Probably because she knew them since they was babies, but that don't make nothing cool. And then everybody, not everybody, but like the people I grew up with, family, people, and still not entirely everybody. Um, that's how they act. That's how they treat people. They just try to see who they can punk or whatever, and that's not cool. In me, I'm a very quiet, patient person, but I have a very short temper for people trying to punk me. And people, like, I stay inside, but when I socialize, people tend to think that I'm stupid because I don't know a lot of the stuff that y'all know. But a lot of stuff that y'all know is not even real knowledge. I was isolated my pretty much my entire life. I was in public school. And I was being isolated. I was being isolated. Man, see, I have the best and worst of both worlds. My children were kidnapped, but by family. CPS and the police are involved. IDF is involved. But at the end of the day, they're with family. They're with family that's, man, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. And I don't fully understand what's going on with that situation because they're trying to keep me in panic with the safety of my children. I've witnessed some things over the phone, but the gaslighting and the manipulation is so real. And these are our parents. And I'm recovering from memory loss now. This was not unintentional. My parents, if I go around my parents, it's going to make me go into memory loss again. There's a lot of trauma there, which is why I be on YouTube in my safe space, which is why I be on social media in my safe space. And like I was saying, I was not given love. I was born into a satanic sex cult. So my mom, being whatever generation she was born into, she doesn't like hugs and nurturing stuff like that because her dad has been sex trafficking her and her siblings since she was 3 years old, and all of the other things that comes with that cult, because that is a cult. Um, so then she's already in position. They try to keep everybody in position. I'm not playing my position. I'm playing my position, but my position ain't the position that they made for me. So I'm retired. I'll be retired. I retired in 2017, you know. So that's a good thing. I'm a published author. I have good things in my life. The hard parts is that I'm completely isolated. I don't have anyone in the world. And then that's not only the hardest part, because then, if that was only the hardest part, you can meet new people. I'm being gangsta. The government is in on this. The government, I've always been a very respectable person, always carried myself very respectable. When the government does things to you, first, not look at life. Normally, they do it in manipulative ways that you're not supposed to catch on to. I was nonverbal, and people have been brutally, physically, and sexually abusive with me my whole life and only manipulated me. So, am I manipulative? When I was younger, I used to, like, there's so much guilt, especially of being someone that has a good heart. But me growing up in a community of abusers, of strong people that are acting honorable in the face of everybody else, and is taking all of their everything out, their anger and abuse on a child, which was me, taking out their sexual frustrations on a child. which was me, doing things to completely isolate me from society, saying I'm a bad child, this and that, so I can't make no friends because they don't want me to speak because they're hiding the things that they're doing. And then you grow up isolated, which is not that bad because you can't miss what you never had. It did not hurt until after I got married and then me and my husband separated. Then it was like I've never really been alone and that hurted. But um I did have a girlfriend after that and she was an awesome girlfriend. Very awesome, very amazing person. Knew her since middle school. Um we separated to work on personal things. I did not know because I've been being strong through everything. I've been being strong through everything. Nobody, also as a child, nobody responded to my pain. So when I'm talking this, so like when I'm talking, I'm just talking, and this is my life. Which is probably why I keep my burn. Which is probably why I keep freezing. Which is probably because it doesn't feel traumatic to me. It doesn't feel sad to me. Um, it's like a calm, jaded feeling right now. But I do definitely experience emotions. Before I could not I could not understand emotions. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but like cuz I can turn my emotions off. When I read a person and I see whatever their clear intentions are, once I see that person for who they are, there's nothing that person can do to convince me otherwise. Um and that's going to take that would definitely take time. And I don't know how to fully explain, but like, so this is going to be multi part, but this is for my healing. This is not for everyone. This is for my personal healing so that I can grow because I'm completely isolated from society. They were trying to break me and are trying to break me. I was intentionally kept from developing mentally, emotionally, but somehow still did. All praise to the Most High El Yahuwah. And everybody kept telling me, "You're gonna break. You're gonna break. You're gonna break," and I never did. They were trying to intentionally turn me evil. I was born into a satanic sex cult. I was only being brutally, physically, and sexually abused. I did not know that they were hoping that I would turn into an abuser like them. I would never do what was done to me to somebody else. So then, first, I'm still realizing the stages because before I was 5, it was non-abusive. I would just be picked up, carried wherever by an adult, and they just did whatever to me. And it was not threatening. It was not threatening or painful. They were just trying to sexualize me so I started doing those things on my own and so they can be like, "Oh yeah, this is the way she always been." One of my very first memories in life is my granddad and 2 women giving me head. Um, it wasn't even a year old, you know? Things I'm not supposed to remember. I remember my granddad's room. I remember their faces smiling at me. I remember wondering what that feeling was. Not being able to talk. It did not hurt. I thought it was love. I started realizing that was happening to my body a lot. Just that feeling. I couldn't talk, didn't know what it was. That was the most, before I was 5, that they engaged with me. Other times, they just picked me up, carried me, did what they did. When I was 5, I know I'm not a depressed person. This is just my life. I'm not a depressed person. I mean, like, this is my life. I'm processing, I'm healing. You know, not a sob story. Don't need anything from anybody. This is just my life. Okay, so when I was 5, I'm trying to understand what was done to me because there's an active war going on against me. Not just me. Clearly, you know, it's I have to process this so that I can understand and see more clearly what's going on around me. So when I was 5, that's when I started being threatened. That's when I started being beat and assaulted. They don't allow you to develop a personality. You have to be whatever they make you. They do abuse tactics that make you fear for your life, that where a lot of people call on the devil because of all of the abuse that you go through. It's to the point that so much vile things happen to your body that you dissociate. And they do that on purpose. Didn't know it was on purpose. You dissociate because your body feels filthy. So filthy that it doesn't resonate with your child that you are at the time. It's okay. I'm completely you don't my life is very traumatic. You please don't stay because I don't want to traumatize you. This video, I'm doing these videos so that I can help myself so that I could come help you guys. Right? I don't think this is a self-help video because I'm isolated and people need to have conversations. I don't have, you know, anyone to talk to like that. And I help me better because I don't understand conversations with people like that because I was born into a satanic sex code. I can catch on real fast because the Most High blessed me to. And that's the hard part. And it's not helping me that I could catch on fast because I could catch on fast. And so that I could communicate in a way that makes it seem like I'm not as isolated as I am and not completely understanding the culture back down of anything. There's I don't fully know how to explain it. Having conversations with people is hard because I don't know the social norm because and I'm not trying to fit into a social norm. I'm my own self. I'm not trying to come in and blend in and fit in. I want to be accepted by my own people. Um so yeah, this is me, you know, developing myself and my character in the world. And so people can understand me because I am different. And different is not bad, and different is not always bad, right? And different does not mean that you're better or worse, right? So when I say that to say, like, okay, so yeah, I've been isolated my entire life. I was my aunt's sex slave. A lot of people were abusive with me, not just my aunt. I'm seeing now that it was done intentionally because all of the patterns are connecting. It was done intentionally. So they were hoping that I would turn into an abuser like them. Because again, like I said, one of my first memories in life is being in a bed with this is a trigger warning, so just go on out. This is a self-help video. Um, One of my very first memories in life, like I said, if you was here earlier or watched the video back, was that experience. And then it was happening regularly. My mom, and at times, my mom always tried to keep us away from like a lot of people and stuff, but her dad was her handler, which is, and then, okay, yeah, that's another thing. When when I laugh when I'm talking about my trauma, that's something that people didn't because they'll be like, "Why are you laughing?" Why? I only experienced physical and sexual abuse. I was not getting nurtured. There was no one rubbing my back, rubbing my hair, giving me hugs. I didn't experience any of that. I watched my siblings experience it. After I made my first friend in first, second grade, my dad came home and said he gonna have sex with me before anybody else did, and tried to bulldoze past my mom. And my mom got that frying pan, that black skillet, that cast iron skillet, and got rid of my dad like she should have. But I also died to her that day because she's been getting essayed with her mom since she was 3 years old because they would drug her mom and abuse her and her sister with their mom. And then my granddad, because my granddad, what was going on, but we didn't understand, but understanding now, and started understanding when I was like 21 years old, piece by piece, getting a little bit more of the family history. When you're an adult, then they start giving you the family history, and you start putting pieces of your life together. Oh, this is why this was happening. Oh, that's why that was happening. So my granddad and his friends, my granddad was a World War II vet, a Freemason, also a Freemason. They would drug their wives and children and switch land and go freely abuse each other's wife and children. And so that happened again after I was 5 and was brutally assaulted. I don't know. I came home from school one day and we moved. We just lived somewhere else, which was where my dad came and was like, took me and said he was going to do that. And then my mom started getting drugged and we started getting abused. But it was like they were drugging us and abusing us in our sleep. And we would just wake up in random places. The first time, I still it was this fat guy named Gary, and he used to breed pit bulls. And he had a whole bunch of baby pit bulls. And he said my mom owed him a lighter. My mom got a bad habit of, if you lose your lighter, you ain't never seeing it again. So did she probably steal the man's lighter? Probably, definitely, probably several. And so he telling her to give him her lighter or give her, money for his lighter. And she was saying like she'd give it to him later. She don't got it right now. And so he was like, you gotta give me something, and picked my mom up and carried her past us and started assaulting her in front of us children. I'm 6, the oldest. And I'm over here with my 3-year-old sister, my 1-year-old sister. I'm over here with my 3 and 1-year-old sister and her friend, which is also 3. And this just starts happening. And so we start jumping on a nigga, beating his ass. Little friend is a little white girl, full set of metal teeth. She bit the fat nigga in his back. And he ran away. So then they came back at night, started drugging us. We started waking up in random places. My mom reported it. They said she was crazy. This was after my mom reported it after we got kidnapped. Because we got kidnapped after that, but we got kidnapped after by my dad. My mom reported everything that was going on. And they said, yeah, you're crazy. That your dad, I don't know what my mom told him, but she told him we were being sexually abused. And instead of believing her, they said, you're crazy. Took away her mental rights as an adult and put her in a mental ward. And then gave custody of us and her to my aunt, who I was her sex slave, which is not going to get into all of that. My aunt took us, all the kids, paired us up, told us we was married and to do what they did. And that's all I'm going to say. So I've been fighting back my whole life. I've never given in. And so this is the point I've been pushed to on the other side of social media, The only way I really communicate because of the things that happen in my life. They were trying to turn me evil by all of the things that they did to me. When did Google's like what? Google really hit in like sixth, seventh grade. So in order to preserve my heart, I intentionally, if I like something, I it's intentional. I'm nobody's fan. I'm living life trying to not was trying to keep my heart from turning dark because the only thing my body experienced was brutal physical and sexual abuse. And I thought I escaped, but the government is still gang stalking me. And I'm not nobody's fan. If when I'm liking something, I'm intentionally giving my good energy to something else that I believe is good so that I don't turn evil. But then sometimes people start treating me weird. I don't understand because I was isolated my entire life. I was my aunt's sex slave. Hillary Clinton attempted to kidnap me in the first grade. I was being, there are CIA agents that followed me all the way through my schooling, all the way through. I've been the safe house. I've been the safe house. It's not a safe house. It's a human trafficking house. Not everybody has the same stories. And this is what I noticed. The government has children that go through the foster system and they make sure nothing happened to them so that those children can have good stories to give back when they're adults. But then some of us are selected for abuse and horrible abuse that makes you dissociate and not want to connect with your body because it's like, how could so many vile things happen in my body? So you dissociate, but they wanted you to do that. I called on the Most High. A lot of people call on the devil because they're like, how could God allow this? How could God allow this? And then worse things start happening to them. And then they go deeper into that. So me being on YouTube is just me living my life because I'm completely isolated from society. I'm retired. Don't need nothing like that from nobody. I'm figuring things out on my own, about to get it on my own, about to plan on, I hope to get, I mean, more than I hope to get drafted into the WNBA. I hope to one day have my own my own league. That is my one of my end goals. Um, but the experience to be in the NBA would definitely be awesome. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to do that because I was hit by a car in 2022, which is crazy because I used to drive a black Dodge Durango, and I got hit by a black Dodge Durango on my daughter's birthday as I was crossing the street. Was it just coincidence? I don't know. That's what I leave it as. But I've been being gang stalked by the government. I got hit by a very attractive stud with dreads. I don't know. She could have been CIA. But because of that is why I'd be like, maybe she's not. I don't know. I'm not suicidal. But getting hit by a car on your child's birthday and they're not letting you talk to your children and you just got arrested and brutally assaulted for no reason, like, I'm being set up. I'm being set up. Tavia is not suicidal. Yes, I went through a lot of things that if they listed and said, "Oh, this," I very, very. I'm not gonna hurt myself for what somebody else did to me. I'm gonna hurt them. It don't make no sense to me. My mom is like that. People hurt her and then she becomes suicidal. And I'm not, you know what? Actually, I am a little angry because she won't hurt them, but she'll hurt herself and she'll hurt her children, which me, right? And so that's why I understand that. I understand that because I watched it. I was not the only person being SA'd. I was isolated. So it was a whole bunch of us, a lot of my cousins, they're all being SA'd. And they were SAing me too. Um, I didn't understand what was going on. But it was never like, is this the only person? Am I the only one that is no, my cousins, I'm not the only one. I do forget because I was isolated. I was picked off from the group. And so I went through a lot of my stuff alone. Yes, there was when I was younger, there were we were getting abused together and stuff. As we got older, I started becoming everybody's secret, unknowingly, unwillingly, not knowing what's going on. Um, so that's why I be on social media because it's where I feel safe. I don't. I did not used to want to be famous. I don't mind if I am. I don't mind if I'm not. If I am, I will something I would have to learn to. I would have to learn to find myself in. Now, I'm not gonna say adjust to, because when you say adjust, that means like other people's standards. That's something I'm never going to do unless it's beneficial for both parties. Like if I'm being me and it's not harming nobody, I'm not just about to change because somebody wants me to change. I'm completely fine and okay in myself and in my being. And that's why I feel like I keep being attacked by these predators because I'm very powerful. They keep trying to break me, and here I'm still sitting there talking about I'm sound in my mind and body. This is just my life. It is not a sob story. I love myself. They was bitches for touching me. They peasants. And they touch me. And I'm upset. And it's off with their head. I'm not gonna hurt myself. They need discipline. Oh yeah, I also was raised by my dad. I also was raised by my dad. My dad was indigenous. They unalived him during COVID. My dad very like me, except except weak. Um, I'm not gonna say weak, except no, and man, but they medically unalived my dad during COVID. Um, but you know, I did, and not all because I was also I can't say I'm my dad's sex slave. Be my dad came around every month so he could rob us for the rent. But he did, well, he did always give me money, but it was probably the money he just stole from my mom. Probably some of the money he just stole from my mom. Cause like he'd give me like $80. Every time my dad see me, he'd give me money. But he probably robbed my mom. I don't know. He do be like he used to get his own money, but he was on drugs, so he spent it. But so yeah, that was wild. Making money, spending your money, and then come robbing your family of theirs. That's just wild. It's not even like he didn't have a job. He got a job. But man, recovering from that life, and I'm not sad. I'm not sad. And the only reason why I'm speaking on my life is one because the Most High says you should be overcome. You should overcome the world by the word of your testimony and not loving your own life unto death. And right, and I let go. I'm sorry, I'm not. I get a little nervous when I read the comments. So I'm like, sometimes I look at it, but like I'm trying to like, and then also like memory loss. I'll be trying not to go on tangents. I'm recovering my mind from memory loss. And so even though like I might look scatterbrained to you guys and stuff, I used to be completely nonverbal. I could barely get one or two words out. So this is a lot of growth, for me. Thank you. Um, so yeah. So like if I be liking and supporting stuff for them, that's because they're spreading a good message in the world. And so I support them. And so I want to motivate them in the world. And so that's why I be liking their stuff a lot. And I like it. I get their likes up. And then that also, because I'm isolated from the world, is how I'm interacting with society and seeking the Most High, and was praying to the Most High, asking the Most High not to let my abusers turn my heart cold. So that's why I be, if I'm liking somebody's stuff, that's what I'm doing, because I see that they're doing good in the world, and I want to invest my love into them and likes, so that their stuff is boosted, so that there is more power of love and good in the world than of darkness. So I'm nobody's fan. I am fighting my abusers, my faceless abusers that's been tracking me since I was a child, and that I am now privy to since 2024. Um, no, I'm not depressed. I'm completely okay. I'm completely okay. I'm completely motivated. I never fail. I accomplish all my goals. I'm a published author. I retired from the U.S. Army when I was 21. Before, when I was in high school, what was my goal? Retire from the military in 3 years. Didn't know how to do it. Everybody thought I was stupid. And then I did not know how anything worked. People used to call me a blonde. I did not used to know how anything worked. So I used to be so ditzy. Those people used to tell me like, "Oh, you're ditzy." I didn't even know what ditzy meant. I didn't even know they were disrespecting me. Um, I did used to be very gullible because there was a lot that I just didn't understand. Um, I used to be very innocent. I understand a lot more now. So yeah, me being on YouTube and on the internet is because I'm completely isolated from everyone. I don't have a relationship with anybody. I never did. My closest thing to a relationship that I had was with my husband, who we got together because I was being essayed by my aunt and her boyfriend, and he promised to protect me. But that man hates me. I think I had a baby by my worst enemy. Like, he hates me. Like, he just wants me to suffer. Like, he only does things to inflict pain and cause me to break down. He won't let me see my children. He's threatened me with the harm of my children because I won't accept his side chick in his cheating, in his abuse, because our parents said that that's the way men are, and encourage him to abuse me. Like, why would you even still want me if you want to cheat on me? You don't treat me good at all. You only hurt me. It's so weird. I will never go back to him. Never, Ilya will willing. Like, I did used to love him. Like, I used to love him. I'd be like, I only love you. I'm only for you. And I gave him so many chances and stuff to get right that he probably just thought like I was obsessed and was never going to leave him. But no, I was my aunt's sex slave. I was born into a satanic sex cult, and I didn't understand. I'm understanding backwards. So he spoke to me. Not no no no. He asked me. He asked me. Nobody ever asked me. I was just brutally, physically, and sexually abused. And then all the guys, like, you would be walking. That was when the guys would be hitting you. You would be walking, and guys would just hit your butt. Like, they were so bold, and like you would want to punch them in the face, but then you just got hit on the butt like 5 times. And I definitely used to be that kid, getting angry, chasing people, boys trying to beat their ass, and they just hit my butt, scattering, laughing at me. As a kid in elementary, like I did used to beat a lot of their ass too. But then when you can't catch them, and it's a lot of them, like you start drawing in and devising other plans to get them later, and they thinking that you're weak and whatever. But that's how it was. That's how it was growing up. Boys walk up to you, they don't even ask your name. They like, "Can I fuck?" I'm like, "What the fuck? If you don't get your ugly, dusty ass out my face," and they don't even be ugly, and that's just what I tell them. Well, you're gonna walk up to me and be like, "Can we fuck?" What the fuck? And they do that to all the like they do that. They that's how that's how they communicate in high school. Me and my best friend walking down the street, eating our ice cream. Guys to the side of us. Oh my gosh, look at how she sucked that. She definitely would. Like, bitch, I'm eating. So like, I hate men so much. Every time I say I hate men, the only thing that stops it is right in my heart, right here. My son. I love my son so much. I don't hate all men. I don't hate all men. Let me get that out. I do not hate all men. So I did not bond or communicate with people because people communicated like trash. And so with my ex husband, he asked me, he cared, can we have sex? And for me, from my point of view, from life, that sounds like this nigga cared. I woke up in the morning with a condom wrapper on my back. Nigga swore it was an accident. We got married. Regularly woke up with condom wrappers on my back, and this nigga always just forgot. This nigga always just swore he accidentally left it in the bed. Always in the center of my back. We're married. We're married. He doesn't introduce me as his wife. He introduced me as his girlfriend. Before we were married, he didn't introduce me as his girlfriend. He hardly introduced me at all. I would never be with him again. I did not expect that that was how that was going to go. Before we got together, he begged me, cried his eyes out, give me a chance. I'm different. I'm going to protect you. Them niggas ain't shit. I'm different. Never been. No, I'm actually indigenous to the Americas. Last name is Black Hawk. Chief Black Hawk is one of my direct I'm one of his direct descendants. Um, no, I'm indigenous to this land. I'm indigenous to this land. Um, and they medically murdered my dad during COVID to hide those facts because also as a foster child that had my last name changed from Black Hawk to Davis, which is my mother's maiden name. But no, I'm indigenous. Um, I don't know. And I understand by communicating, I understand you guys. Like, I'm processing y'all's emotions. Like, I was just going through life and, like, from what I see out of my body, but I didn't understand any of the things that happened in my body. And because it was so traumatic, my mind mostly cut it off. But then when people ask me questions, it calls up to my search engine and I just say those things because it's what happened to my body. And then people's face be all shocked and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so, like sometimes they'll be like, I'm sorry that happened to you. Sometimes they'll like frown and they'll be like, why the fuck did you tell me that? Or like, but I've communicated enough to like, I'm dealing with y'all emotions to how y'all responded to my, life and trauma. But when I was being abused, nobody was responding to my abuse. I was born into it. So the only thing I have is what is in my head. No, I didn't like it. No, it wasn't okay. But I didn't know what it was. Um, I'm learning to gauge, learning to gauge off of my surroundings. So yes, I'm gonna be on social media because it's how I communicate with myself. It's how I process my thoughts from being alone. It's how I don't lose my voice from being alone. It's how I am productive going through life so that I can state my goals, get to my goals, accomplish my goals. So being on social media, people, everybody tried to break me and wanted me to come back crawling, begging. And I started saving myself, doing my own self help videos. And then now some people trying to push me off YouTube. Mostly the government trying to silence me because of the truth that I know. These videos that are like this are for my self help growing. I will be making sports videos and other videos and stuff like that for the community. I will be doing my homework and project and studies portions on YouTube. There's a couple of things I'll be doing with my channel, but also for my own self help and growth because nobody has to be in my life. That is a choice, right? So I spend time with myself, right? Yes, I do want someone in my life. That is hard because what I noticed, okay, so I don't know questions and stuff to ask people. I'm learning a little bit, but it still feels weird because I don't have that exercise. I don't have that exercise of like, oh, how was your day? How are you doing? That feels weird. That feels weird because like that is not something that it feels weird. It's gonna take time for me to get used to and to remember. And then there's a lot like because those things weren't done to me. I was just brutally physically abused because they were intentionally trying to groom me to appear in society a certain way. These were Freemasons. These were important people in society. It was intentional so that I look like I don't fit in. I don't want to fit in. I never want to fit in. I just want to be safe. I don't want to fit in. I want to be safe being myself. It's been almost an hour and I still have not got to my point. I've been struggling in my brain this whole time to get to the point. So, yeah, so that's what it's like, I guess, having a conversation with me. And that's something that I was abused for a lot of my life, but I'm struggling to get to my point, and I was like, I can't. That is something that's a top thing people get annoyed with me about. Like, get to the fucking point. Like, so yeah, I would rather just be by myself. I like being around people, just being myself, being quiet. But then people like, I don't want to be somewhere where I gotta fill the void all the time for people to feel safe. That's weird. If you don't feel safe around me, quiet, just don't be around me, right? Um, and that's not saying it should be quiet all the time, but it's gonna take me time to open up. I'm about to get off here because I didn't even get to my point, and it's already been an hour. So I'm about to do some do some, what is the word I'm looking for? Some maintenance, some self maintenance off camera because I haven't even got to my point yet. Hi, hello. Hold on. Oh, dang.